the gang shit! Yo, there's this metal part in this fucking couch. Get the fuck out of my rib. But I don't think it's metal. It's actually wooden. God damn. Alright, let's get the shit popping. What is up? How y'all doing? First off, I'm gonna say shout out to all the students going back to school. Hopefully y'all survive, get y'all GED and stuff. Become a professional worldwide entrepreneur. Entrepreneur. I always say that shit. I used to always say that shit. I used to say entrepreneur. It's entrepreneur. Become an entrepreneur. Just be as successful as you could be when you graduate. Or after you graduate. Second off, I'm gonna say I'm fucking up. I don't know why this came to my head last night, but I just thought to my head that I would react to some scary ass school videos. I don't know. Being that everybody started school today, which is Monday, but uploading this on Tuesday, why not make a video relating to everybody going to school? So this is going to be a try not to get scared video. With my stupid ass idea. It's like I punish myself nowadays. Like, what the fuck am I doing right now? If y'all already know, y'all seen in my previous videos, I don't really fuck with scary videos. Every time when I tend to watch them, I start to hear shit in this damn house because I feel like it is haunted. Possibly. I always tend to look this way. Oh, this kid's playing on the outside. Never mind. But I always tend to look around. Just... there we go. Starting to hear shit. I don't hear that. Hold on. Listen carefully. I can't fuck with this house, bro. But yeah, it just seems like every time when I'm about to react to a scary video, that's when some creepy shit starts to happen. And besides, I'm home alone as well, so if something happened to me, I'm gonna die alone. I shouldn't be talking like that. What the hell is my problem? But I'm gonna try not to waste any more time because I want to get this out of the way right now. So let's just go ahead and react to this damn video. By the way, shout out to Lake Forest Martins. Represent. And by the way, if y'all want to watch the full video, I'm going to put that in the link in the description down below because last night I was just searching for some scary school videos and this is the first thing that popped up. It's apparently like 19 minutes long. I'm not going to watch the whole 19 minutes because one, I'm going to be a pussy trying to watch this whole video, and two, that's going to be a long ass video with my long ass talking, so let's just get this over with.
This is something you guys have been requesting the hell out of for a long time.
Long, but I'm not
it
watching
took a
this
lot
full
of time,
video.
but I finally found 3 stories that take place during school lockdowns. It was a typical boring day in calculus, only it was Friday, 7th period, meaning the week was almost over and spring break would finally be upon us, so everybody was getting antsy in their seats, I could tell. We didn't have a test that day like a lot of my friends did with their other teachers, so our teacher in the middle of class just decided to start playing games with us on Sporkle.com. He was a very laid-back teacher like that. As we were doing some brand logo quiz on Sporkle, I remember the exact moment it happened. Right after my friend answered a question, I remember the exact answer too, Adidas. The dean's voice came through the loudspeaker. He sounded panicked and frantic as he told all the teachers this was not a drill and to go into lockdown. I actually got the chills and I got goosebumps on my arms as our usually laid-back teacher too seemed panicked as he ran to turn off the lights and ushered us to the back corner of the room.
The hell?
We all sat in silence for about 2 minutes, and then the usual buzzing that came from a panel in the back of the room ceased, indicating that the school must have cut all the power. We all looked at each other, realizing this must be serious. A few more minutes of waiting later, we heard a man screaming at the top of his lungs coming down the hallway.
Oh, hell no.
2 girls in the class actually started crying, which made all of us even more scared. As the screaming got closer to the classroom, the lunatic-sounding man started banging on the lockers while screaming, "I'll kill all of you."
Yo, this man was possessed.
It was at that moment that I started to fear for my life. My teacher shushed us as we all looked at each other to see our peers' reactions. The banging then moved from the lockers to our classroom door.
Yo, fuck no.
And that's when one of the crying girls screamed no.
Of course,
the banging on the door only grew worse as the man started screaming, "Open up." 2 of the girls in the class were crying out loud now. It felt like an eternity that man was pounding at the door. But eventually, he finally continued down the hallway, screaming like a mentally insane person until we could not hear him anymore. I'd say 10 minutes later, though it felt like half an hour given the situation, the dean came back on the loudspeaker explaining the situation, which was surprising for him to do. He explained that some apparently mentally unstable person entered the building and assaulted the woman sitting at the front desk, causing her to flee the building screaming, and staff wasn't sure if the man was armed or not.
What the hell?
Now this was before the school had cameras or could afford proper security, so the school was wide open to something like this happening. The staff had done a sweep of all the hallways and classrooms and couldn't find him, so the dean instructed the teachers to resume teaching but to keep all the doors locked and to not let any students leave for any reasons.
I wouldn't even want to come back to that school after that.
Is that one of the janitors working the night shift found the man sleeping in one of the storage closets near the back end of the school, and according to rumors that were spread by my peers, sticking out of his pocket was a .44 Magnum. The janitor must have done something stupid to wake him up, for example, leaving the closet door open, because by the time a police officer could arrive on the scene, the man was gone.
Damn.
My entire class, as far as I know, to this day, has no idea if this man was ever found, but I like to think that right now, he's being given the proper help that he needs.
Something, damn it, not to the, man. Hell no. Some random ass dude coming to the school like that, I'll jump out that damn window.
My school has 2 lunch periods. First lunch period is for all 6th graders and some 7th graders. The second lunch period is for the other half of the 7th graders and all 8th graders. The lockdown happened in the beginning of October. The day the lockdown occurred, it was overcast and rainy.
Because of October,
During the
obviously.
first lunch period, I heard 4 loud booms. I personally thought it was thunder, but the entire lunch crowd started screaming. I was thinking those kids were just serious pussies, but the campus security came in and started yelling at people to go into the multi-purpose room, and the kids who were in line buying lunch had to throw out their lunch and come inside. Me and some friends went inside the room along with a huge group of other kids. Everyone was curious as to what was happening. Our multi-purpose room is huge, and the back wall of the room is made of see-through glass. When me and my friends were rushed inside the campus, security was covering the glass with the curtains, and there were adults at every exit. My friend Eric was curious, as well as the rest of us, so he asked one of the adults what was going on. When he came back, he said,
Someone got shot?
"You know how right in front of TMS there's those houses?" I replied, "Yeah." "There's this mentally disabled, crazy man that barricaded himself in front of his house, and he's threatening to commit suicide and kill the cops if he's evicted. He was walking around outside of school watching kids in a weird way," Eric told us. It turned out the man was also a registered sex offender, making matters worse.
What the fuck?
We were stuck in the multi-purpose room for a whole hour, taking up 2 periods. After the whole thing was settled, we were escorted to our classrooms one by one. I later found out that the man lives next to my friend Brandy, who told me about the previous Halloween when she saw the same man at his window cutting his arm and writing in his own blood, "Don't come here or I'll kill you," on his window.
What the fuck? He was just
Of course,
randomly...
being Halloween, people, including Brandy, assumed it was just for the holiday.
Yo, this man has
But after this horrific incident, we knew this man was mental, and we're glad he never got near us.
Hell no, man. Why would you just cut your... Never mind, he's mental.
I'm 22 years old, fresh out of college, and I recently got a job at my old high school as a sort of computer intern in the school basement. The basement of the school is very messy and disorganized, but there is a small 3-person office that's actually very nice down there. It has 3 nice big desks, 2 mini fridges, a flat screen TV mounted on the wall, and oh so satisfying air conditioning, a luxury the students and teachers cannot enjoy in the school. And of course all the school servers and other computery stuff.
What kind of school was this?
I got the job because 3 of my old computer teachers flat out adored me. I could actually consider them as real friends, not just teacher figures, so they all helped tremendously in landing me this job.
Can't trust all your friends in school.
It's been great. Until something that happened a few weeks ago. My 2 co-workers that shared the office with me, Dave and Gary, weren't in the office at the time. They were upstairs working on papers or whatever. I was eating my sandwich during my lunch break when I got a phone call from one of the women in the front office telling me the school was on lockdown and that somebody, possibly armed, had entered the school. There wasn't much that I could do other than turn off the lights because, surprisingly, as nice as this little office was, it didn't have an actual door to it, just a big opening, and the door to the whole basement didn't even have a working lock. For my own safety, I did turn off all the lights in the office and my computer screen. I kept my phone on the desk, texting both Gary and Dave, but they wouldn't respond.
See, that's a creepy ass look right there.
I sat down there in the dark, playing games on my phone for like 20 minutes, waiting for the call from up front to tell me to resume working. I had no idea what was happening. I couldn't hear what was going on upstairs from down here, but I was not allowed to make any calls until I was informed that the lockdown was over. Then, the noisy basement door opened.
No sound effects.
As the creaking echoed across the basement and into my office,
why did that scare me?
I sat up from my seat, wondering if I should call out Gary or Dave. I was eager to get some info from them. Someone then came running down the stairs, and their footsteps were approaching my office. I pushed away my chair and crawled under my desk.
Why you gotta add sound effects, bro?
Somebody entered the office, but did not turn on the lights. There was just silence. I can't even describe the fear I was experiencing. I felt like if I made one sudden noise, I'd be a dead man. Suddenly, my phone dinged as I got a text message. I felt my entire world shrivel up and die at that one moment, as I clenched my teeth in fear. Footsteps suddenly moved closer to me until I finally dove out from under the desk in capitulation, begging whoever it was not to kill me. And just then, someone grabbed my arm and pulled me up. It was some guy in a red plaid button-up, jeans, and a reddish-black cap. He told me, "It's okay, I'm just down here hiding with you." "What's going on up there?" I whispered to him. He kind of ignored my question and asked me if there's an exit down here. I told him, "Yeah, around that way." Before he could do anything else, I asked him, "Who are you?" There was a brief moment of silence. Before he started explaining, he was coming in to pick up his son.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to end it right there. I was anxious to see what he was going to say his name was also. But I had to end the video right there because it was getting too long and I just didn't want to watch it anymore. Well, obviously I failed. Try not to get scared. With those damn sound effects that he kept putting in the damn video. Like with those 4 bangs, that scared the living hell out of me. I literally thought that someone banged on the door or something. I don't know. Besides, my volume was turned up loud as hell with those earphones, so I keep hearing shit. But it was loud as hell, and it scared me. It startled me. Now, if y'all enjoyed the video, make sure y'all smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't. Before I end off the video, I just wanted to see if I'm not alone on this part. By estimate around the world, how many students do y'all think are possibly test subjects? Well, my guess, I gotta say at least, like, almost around 2 million? I don't know. Because there are a lot of schools, and most definitely a lot of students around the world. There has to be some schools in this world secretly, like, testing these students. Like, I don't know, haven't y'all seen that movie, that show, Stranger Things, how 11 was a test subject? Partly like that, so I don't know. I just feel like there has to be some secretive operation going on with students nowadays. Now, I just thought I should bring that up because I've just been really curious. So let me know in the comments down below How many students y'all think are test subjects? Possibly test subjects. We don't know for sure if there are test subjects. That's the thing. We'll never know. Thank you guys for tuning in with me. I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm out of here, son.
Work come in, I'm moving. Ooh, work come in, I'm moving. Ooh, try how looking so stupid. Yeah, try how looking so stupid. Move it, move it, move it, move it. Ooh, move it, move it, move it. Ooh, move it.